Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Island Rally once again, this time for the NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series. 18 laps of action around this dirt rally road course in what is the 26th race of the season. 2 races remain in the regular season for the Digital Storm Cup Series until we set the 16 driver playoff grid. Got to do things up a little differently because we're at a track we've been to before. 2017, we came to Island Rally. Martin Suarez and Charles Jackson graced the front row. Suarez would go on to win the race by over 4 seconds over Michael Amato. 36 drivers finished on the lead lap with a total of 37 cars finishing the race. With that said, let's get to your starting top 10 today. Matthew Logan, fresh off his second win of the season last week at Moostec, graces the pole. Logan became the 5th different multi-race winner this season. Starting next to him is Jose Mills, who came up short a while back at Nazareth. Row 2 is Logan's teammate, Tyler Fink, who has not won since Rockingham. And next to him is 3-time winner on the season, Jeff Toledo. Row 3 is James Shelley and Rob Evans. Row 4, Cole Deaver, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. And in row 5 is Kev Shearer and Joshua Sikuli. Coming into the race here today, or first off, actually fastest in practice was LJ Toledo. He starts 17th. Fastest in happy hour was your Jerky Pro Truck Series winner yesterday, Andrew Rich. Rich starts 42nd after problems during his qualifying lap. The 2 drivers currently locked into the playoffs are Alex Gray and Seth Cole. Gray 3rd in the points, Seth Cole 8th. Both of those drivers have enough points to where they won't fall out of the top 30, and they have 2 or more wins. Drivers that could join them today include Andrew Rich, Matthew Logan, and Jeff Toledo, but Toledo will have to be high enough above the 31st place in points driver following today's race. We'll get to all that stuff in a minute, but first let's go trackside for the command to fire engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Coming into the race here today, the playoff grid is as follows. Your points leader, Nate Rogers without a win, Jeff Toledo with 3 wins, Alex Gray, Seth Cole, Andrew Rich, Matthew Logan with 2 wins each. And then a bunch of drivers with a win, Samet Oskin, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Priya McShane, Alexander Rowe, Tyler Fink, Quinton Moore, Jonathan Zorlin, Ace Rogers, James Shelley, and Jessica Shelton. The battle for 16th looks as such. Tyler Fink is a total of 77 points ahead, I believe. Quinton Moore 58, Zorlin 45, Ace Rogers 36, James Shelley 35, Shelton 11. First man out is Adam Flickinger 11 back, Dylan Young 28 back, and then these 2 drivers are outside the top 30 in points. That's Wes McCoy 54 points out and Rob Evans 74 points out. Now, for the top 30 watch, Jeff Toledo has 26 points over 31st, Adam Flickinger 24, Dylan Young 7, McCoy is 31 back, and Evans is 46 back. Now here's one thing to keep in mind. Evans and McCoy are very far back in both the top 30 watch and the battle for 16th. So McCoy and Evans will most likely need to get another win and then hop into the top 30 because they are so far back on the battle for 16th, they could be out of range following today's race. The Jerky Pro Truck Series race was a good one. We're green flag racing here now for the Cup Series 1. As Logan and Mills with a pretty even start. Looks like no pole sitter curse for Matthew Logan. We saw Donovan Cage have a terrible truck all day yesterday. And Logan will clear Mills for the lead. We saw some crazy accidents in the Truck Series race too. We'll see if that craziness carries over to today. And there it is. Seth Cole, Fitzwater, LJ Toledo, Gardner, Priya McShane, and more all spinning off into the trees. All replays will be looked at the end of the race. There's Priya McShane, Gardner, Seth Cole, Andrew Rich was in it. Alex Ferrati with damage. William Flickinger, LJ Toledo. And there's Fitzwater. And now we're back at the back of the grid. Alex Gray running near the rear. Jessica Shelton. Remember, they might have wins, but points is huge. Gray's locked in. He doesn't really need to worry about it. As if you did not notice, I'm without Vince Freeze again. It has been a while since the last time I didn't have Vince in the booth with me. So it is probably going to be a little tougher for me to keep my voice up for the duration of this one. I believe the last time I didn't have Vince was back at the Cup Nazareth race. First lap's complete. Matthew Logan leads him at the line. As we watch the back of the pack, there's Wes McCoy up there. He is on the grass. That looks dangerous. We saw Peter Onjak turn Logan York through this corner right here, and it sent Lucas Catano flying. Wes McCoy, one of those drivers we mentioned outside the top 30 with a win. He got that win back at the Pensacola Road Course. Rob Evans won all the way back at, I believe it was Talladega. Yes, indeed. Evans currently running in the top 10. Wes McCoy running 24th at the start-finish line. There's Quentin Moore, one of the guys points-wise with wins. A little bit of danger. Dylan Young outside looking in. There's Ace Rogers. There's Nate Rogers, your points leader. He started 25th. He's up to 16th. And let's talk about that whole point scenario now. Nate has a 5-point cushion over Samet Oskin coming into today's race. 12 points over Alex Gray. We know Gray runs behind them, but Oskin... Where is Oskin? Is Oskin also behind the 83? And I just did not notice. Yes, indeed. So Oskin 28th, Gray 34th. We know pit strategy really jumbled things up in the Truck Series race, so we'll have to see if that does the same here in the Digital Storm Cup Series race. But right now, it looks like Nate Rogers will keep his points lead as several drivers are coming to pit road. Is this strategy related or is this damage related? I'm not sure. But they are coming down to the pit lane. Oh, and Austin Colano and somebody else have been turned around. And that is Wes McCoy. That is a crushing blow for the 43. And I think something similar might have happened, like what we saw with Lucas Catano. And we'll have to take a look at that after the race. But Alex Gray, Zach Rogers, they've lost some track position here. Meanwhile, Tyler Markle under fire from several drivers. There's Rob Evans. Matthew Logan continuing to lead the race. He's pulling away as Markle and Ace Rogers making contact. And Markle appears to be slow. He might have damage. So closing towards the top 10. Keith Rich has been moving his way up the running order. There's Adam Flickinger, Ryan Brommer, Logan York having good runs. And Nico Tringali, another Red Bull car that has not won yet in 2020. Could he change that here today? It's Evans, Onjak, and Markle all peeled off the pit road. Getting early damage here could be costly. It could potentially be a two-stop race anyway. But you want to try and stretch this thing out. So Tringali is 10th. Zorlin running in 9th. We haven't seen Zorlin in the top 10 in a while. Alexander Rowe 8th. Kev Shear with a good run right now in 7th. James Shelley 6th. Jose Mills has made it by Cole Deaver for 4th. Deaver, another big driver in his past seasons who has not won in 2020. Could the day be today for the 3 car? But up at the front, Fink is third. Logan is second as Jeff Toledo has taken the race lead. Could Toledo get a 4th win on the season here today at the Island Rally? A win would be a huge boost for Jeff. He might just get high enough above 31st in the points to where this win would lock him in to the playoffs. Having 4 wins would be huge for the Evernham Petty 19. We talked about teams wanting to expand, teams going different directions next year. What could happen with Evernham Petty? McCoy with a win, Jeff Toledo with 3. And Jeff Toledo has driven away from Matthew Logan. As Alexander Rowe will peel off the pit road. Battle on the track for position. It's for 7th place. Sorlin and Shearer side by side. Shelley right in front of them. And Sorlin will drive on by, and now Shearer looks for position as Shelley will get stuck in the sand, and he'll fall to 9th. Now Tyler Fink putting pressure on Matthew Logan. Something might be amiss on the 38. He was fast before, but now he is under pressure from his teammate. But it's a Ford top 3. Fink looking for 2nd place. And we'll have to wait and see how many one race winners get locked in following today. A lot of them are pretty good on points. But it will ultimately take looking at the points in a manner of, okay, if this guy gets 2 wins, are you still in the playoffs? If he doesn't, what's going to happen? And I think something's wrong with Matthew Logan's car. He was slow going up that hill. But there will be a lot to look at following Island Rally. Logan staying on the track. Jose Mills looking for position now on Matthew Logan as Zorlin is looking for a spot on Cole Deaver. James Shelley, I believe, has just peeled off the pit road. And Zorlin will take a spot away from Deaver. That will be 5th place. Mills will pass Matthew Logan for 3rd. As Ryan Brommer and Logan York find themselves in the top 10. Wes McCoy will officially finish last. Austin Colano 41st. We'll have to wait and see if there are any more DNFs as Ryan Brommer will pass Kev Shearer for 8th place, or will he? Shearer is still on his left side. And it looks like Ryan Brommer will get him. Keith Rich has been making his way towards the top 10. He runs in 12th. Nate Rogers right behind him in 13th. Good run so far for the 83. And then a line of cars behind Ace Rogers. Dylan Young right there in 14th. Or actually, that could be 15th now. I'm not sure. These guys are really racing hard back here. Samet Oskin is closing in on the top 20. He's actually in the top 20, and so is Alex Gray now. So those guys are chasing after Nate Rogers. They want that top points position. If you look at the Jerky Pro Truck Series standings following their race yesterday, it's down to Henry Sanford and Carter Friesen for the top spot. That's another 5 bonus points for the playoffs. In the Cup Series, it's a lot more tight between Nate Rogers, Gray, and Oskin. And it could leave tight or not, depending what happens after today, as Dylan Young's engine has expired. Oh no, that is a costly break for the 2 car. Young came in a mere 7 points inside the top 30. And an engine failure is going to take him out of this thing. As Jeff Toledo is gone, he's got a near 6-second lead now over Tyler Fink. My goodness. So Young is limping around the track. I'm just hoping he doesn't get in anybody's way. There's Alexander Rowe. I believe Rowe is the highest of drivers who has already pit once. So he runs in 24th. So 23 cars have yet to pit. And Jeff Toledo is gone. We're on lap 7. This was the big lap to pit in the truck race. So it looked like Jeff and Logan were going to have a decent battle, and then Jeff got by him, and he has just peeled away. Fink in second, Mills third. Sorlin's looking for 4th place. Deaver in 6th. Brommer 7th. Adam Flickinger having a good run. He's in 8th. As Logan York will pass Tringali for 9th. Keith Rich right on his bumper for 10th place. As Shearer has fallen down to 11th. Nate Rogers chilling in 12th. As here comes Oskin looking for 13th on Sebastian Kukulon. Alex Gray behind them, passing Quinton Moore for position. So it's been a bit of a calmer cup race, I feel like, so far. But we have seen comers and goers. But Jeff Toledo is gone. And it's going to take something bad to turn the battle from Toledo being by himself to Fink and Jose Mills. Alex Ferranti is back here without a hood. Something, yep, Dylan Young. I thought it was somebody else. Dylan Young, of course, with the expired motor. And he has just gone on the pit road. Sekuli and Shelton are pitting again. And the 2 car will officially retire with a camshaft failure. That'll plop him down to 40th. As LJ Toledo and Tyler Markle are actually already a lap down each. Shelton and Sekuli back on pit road. At the completion of lap 8, it looks like it's going to be a one-stop for the Cup boys, too. Despite the increased distance, Fink and Mills will pit here coming to lap 9. Deaver, Logan, Brommer, Adam Flickinger all coming down. Zorlin stays out. Logan York stays out. Nate Rogers, oh, he's going to pit late. He's going to miss pit road. And that's going to cost him a lot of time. Oskin stays out. He passes the 83. And did Nate get any damage? I don't see any right side door damage, so it's just going to be a missed pit entry for the 83 car. But that is going to hurt him track time wise tremendously. As Fink will come out of pit road first of his group. Mills second. There's Alexander Rowe. Remember, he pit a long time ago. He'll fall in line. Mills was trying to get the position back. He might actually still have a good shot at it. But a line of cars coming out of pit road. Jeff Toledo continues to lead the race. The 4th win seems to be all but locked down for Jeff Toledo. He is just driven away at this point. His last win came in the, was it the first one? The first Pukekohe race. That was his 3rd win on the season. He also won at Sandy Flats and Pocono. So Jeff Toledo comes down. Zorlin, Logan York, they follow down. Oskin as well. Zach Rogers, Carter Friesen, we should see come to pit road. Yep, there's Nate Rogers. He'll make it this time. Markle is a lap down, and then that leaves us to Tyler Fink. And Jeff Toledo is just so far out in front. He's already done with his pit stop. Watch, there goes Jeff Toledo. Where is Tyler Fink, you might ask? He is right there. And Toledo's already at the second jump. Or is that the first jump? That's the first jump. But Fink is going to need a miracle. Brommer is up to third. Adam Flickinger fourth. Logan York fifth. Mills sixth. Shelley seventh. Keith Rich eighth. Deaver ninth. And Zorland rounds out the top 10. Oskin is 12th. 15th, Nico Tringali. 20th appears to be Carter Friesen, so 21st for Alex Gray and 23rd for Nate Rogers. And then a bunch of different cars with damage or different pit strategies. But the leader is solely Jeff Toledo. We're going to take a step aside, and we'll be back for the conclusion of the race here at Island Rally. We're back here at Island Rally. We'll be coming to 7 laps to go at the start-finish line. So I believe something might have happened to Andrew Rich. Yeah, indeed. Andrew Rich is on pit road. Something might have happened to the 23 car. That is going to be a bad finish for him. And his chances of locking himself up after today, it could not happen. It might not happen. But meanwhile, Jeff Toledo's lead has disappeared. It's a full second that lap by. As Tyler Fink and Ryan Brommer are closing. How about Ryan Brommer for Stuart Haas Racing? Trying to join teammate Priya McShane in the playoffs. He won 2 road course races last year. We haven't seen him in victory lane since the Pensacola road course win. As he and Tyler Fink slowly catch up to Jeff Toledo, he'll take second place away from Tyler Fink. Brommer comes into this race 22nd in the points, directly behind James Shelley and in front of Jessica Shelton. A win today would put him in the grid. It wouldn't lock him into the grid, but it would put him in there. Where has this speed come from for the 14 and the 34? They are hunting down Jeff Toledo. Or is Toledo merely saving his stuff? He kind of did save his stuff in the first stint too. Fastest lap time for the race actually goes to Ryan Brommer, a 1:37.992. Brommer has had his car dialed in all day. But I thought Brommer pit early. I could be mistaken. He might have to pit again. I could have sworn Brommer came in really early. I could be wrong. But he is chopping down that lead on Jeff Toledo regardless. There's Joshua Sekuli coming out of pit road. Let's give you a top 10 rundown. Toledo leading, Brommer second, Fink third. Adam Flickinger has made it up to 4th place. Keith Rich just getting passed there by Jose Mills for 5th. Logan York 7th. Oskin running in 8th. Ace Rogers 9th. And Matthew Logan in 10th place. So Oskin running in 8th could be looking to dethrone Nate Rogers of his points lead. The 33 of Alex Gray runs in 18th. Nate Rogers running in 21st, as it appears Shelley and Kukulon might be on pit road, or they might have gotten into an accident. And indeed, Kukulon and Shelley, who we saw pit earlier, they had to come back down pit road. They could not make it. Shelton will pit again as well. Could traffic play a factor for Jeff Toledo, as Brommer has gotten stuck behind Joshua Sekuli? That is allowing Toledo to drive away. It'll be 5 laps to go this time by at the start-finish line. It looks like Jeff has kind of started to dial it back in. 139.6 last time by. We'll see what he gets this time by. Brommer and Fink will make it by Sakuli. 139.9. And Brommer and Fink losing time because of the 11. And Fink will throw it to the right side of Brommer. He's looking for second place back. These are the only guys in range to catch Jeff Toledo. And what a storyline it would be if Brommer could take this 14 Chevy to victory lane, because this is the one and only time the 14 car has been to victory lane was with Martin Suarez behind the wheel in 2017 at this very racetrack. So perhaps the 14 car, different driver, but something about good equipment you hear when they come to Island Rally. Jeff Toledo's going to catch LJ Toledo. Could he get in the way here? Brommer is still under fire from Tyler Fink. And Jeff will have to go the long way around his family Ford teammate. Not sure what the relation is. But Jeff will get by LJ with ease. Brommer trying to close in the gap. Four laps to go at the start-finish line. LJ's going to peel off the pit road right as Andrew Rich is coming out. Seth Cole, Rob Evans also on the pit lane. And the lead is back down to 2.6 seconds. So Rich must have gotten stuck somewhere. I thought his day was done, but it appears he merely was stuck. As Samet Oskin is making the move on Keith Rich for 5th. I'm not sure if we've got more drivers pitting or not. Actually, we might. I don't see Jose Mills near the front anymore. Could this be a fuel strategy race? Nico Tringali has fallen to 19th. And I believe Alex Gray might be on pit road. Jose Mills indeed came down. Tringali as well. Alex Gray, Nate Rogers came down too. And that will help Oskin tremendously if he can make it to the end. And now Jeff Toledo was under fire from Sakuli, who made it by Fink and Brommer. And now they're right there. And Tyler Fink will pass Brommer for second. Oh, man. Just like that, Jeff Toledo's over 2-second lead is gone. Fink and Brommer are right here. What on earth happened to lose 2 seconds? Fink's going to look for the lead on the 19. And Jeff Toledo's coming to pit road. Oh my goodness gracious. Did something happen to the 19? While he was leading, we'll have to look later. Does he have hood damage? Oh, it's hard to tell. His car looks clean, but something could be amiss on the 19 of Jeff Toledo. The 4th career win gone. And now the battle is between Tyler Fink and Ryan Brommer with just 3 laps to go. Imagine Front Row Motorsports, both of their drivers getting their 2nd wins on the season, back-to-back weeks. That could happen if Fink gets the win, but Brommer is not letting him go anywhere. That'll move Adam Flickinger up to 3rd, and Oskin up to 4th. Will probably take the points lead if he doesn't have to come to pit road. And Adam Flickinger is off in the sand. Where did Zach Rogers come from? He's up to 5th. My goodness gracious, what is this race? It's too bad Vince couldn't stay around for this one. Oh my goodness gracious. It's down to Fink and Brommer right now, but if they have to pit, it'll change everything again. Depending where Jeff Toledo finishes, it could influence how many points ahead of 31st he is now. He led the most laps, so he's got that thing going for him. Fink is starting to pull away from Brommer. It looked like Brommer had the car to beat. But we're coming to 2 to go. No signs of the top 2 pitting. Brommer could be looking for a way to get by the 34. Jessica Shelton's closing in. I think she might have pit recently. So things could get tight here between the 34 and the 14. This car, again, I'll say it again, this car won way back in 2017 at this track with a different driver behind the wheel. And now Brommer is trying to bring it back to victory lane today. Brommer tried to make a move on Fink. He couldn't quite get it. Shelton's going to go to his left side. That actually might have been a defensive move by Brommer to avoid going the long way through the corner. Can Fink make a similar move? If he can't, Brommer's going to be right here to capitalize. And Shelton is looking left. Oh, this could get dicey. Shelton turns Tyler Fink right out of the lead. Into the trees he goes. And that gives the lead to Ryan Brommer. Oh, my goodness. My goodness gracious. What a turn of events. That'll send Fink down to, I think, 4th. What a turn of events at the 2 to go lap. Oh my gosh. Brommer will take the white flag after Shelton turned Tyler Fink. Samet Oskin is in 2nd. Zach Rogers 3rd. Fink falls to 4th from the spin. I'm surprised he didn't lose more. Wow. It's not over. Shelton's right back on Brommer's bumper. But Brommer's going to get out of the way. I don't think he wants to get turned either. But just like in 2017, we had this thing where Chevy and Ford drivers were going at it. And I think it's safe to say that rivalry has been reignited. But Shelton turned the wrong car. Brommer wins this race. It's going to knock her out of the grid. But Ryan Brommer, man. 2 road course wins in 2019. Samet Oskin will get out of the way of Andrew Rich. I don't think he wants to get turned out of 2nd. Where did Jeff Toledo end up after he pit? He only fell to 13th. And Seth Cole is out of the race for some reason. We'll have to take a look at that. But after a crazy final few laps, Jeff Toledo pitting, Tyler Fink getting turned off the final corner, Brommer will get his first win at Stewart-Haas Racing and his 3rd of his career. He wins at Island Rally. And he and Seth Cole appear to be the road course aces here in the Digital Storm Cup Series. Wow. What a finish, man. I mean, at 2 to go mostly. But what an incredible turn of events. And Zach Rogers gets 2nd place late on Samet Oskin. Wow. That is going to change a lot of stuff in the points. Let's take a look at the rest of your top 10. Fink will still come home 4th, but definitely mad at Jessica Shelton. Kev Shearer got 5th place. What a good run for him. Ace Rogers 6th. Adam Flickinger 7th, Matthew Logan 8th, Quinton Moore 9th, and Corey Williams will round out the top 10. Jeff Toledo will end up 12th, so a great finish for him regardless of the late pit stop. James Shelley 15th, Alex Grace 16th, Sorlin 19th, Nate Rogers 21st. Will definitely be losing the points lead because of where Oskin finished. So that'll be an interesting battle next week. Nate will not make the playoffs if he can't win a race. If Nate wins the race next week at Armory Digital, he'll be guaranteed to make the playoffs. But if he doesn't win, he's going to need Oskin and Gray to have problems. Fitzwater 22nd. Cole Deaver was running up well earlier. He finishes 24th. Alexander O 28th. Shelton 32nd. McShane 33rd. Evans 34th. It could be over for Evans' bid. It depends how many points behind 30th he is. Luckily for him, Dylan Young had problems. Seth Cole 38th. Rich 39th. And Wes McCoy 42nd. Could also be over for him. We'll have to take a look at the point standings following this race. The pre-race show for Armory Digital will likely be very long. But with that said, let's take a look at what happened to take out a lot of drivers. There was a lot of stuff that happened on the first lap. So let's take a look at all those replays. All right, so there's a lot to look at with this lap 1 incident. And we're going to start by looking at what happened to Fitzwater. Started in the top 10. Alexander O gets into him. And right there, he's going to lose traction. And then LJ Toledo just gets turned into something. Charles Sanford got squeezed out by Logan York. And Shelton ends up turning Charles Sanford here. Ferranti has nowhere to go. Onjak gets involved. Jesse Turner is going to get a piece of this. And then William Flickinger, Andrew Rich, and Johnny Gardner got together. Priya McShane, Seth Cole. What on earth happened to them? Well, Priya McShane just bounces off of these guys. Oh, she turned right into Andrew Rich. And turned Rich into William Flickinger. And then Gardner, I think, got spun by Quinton Moore. No, it was Sebastian Kukulon getting squeezing himself into Samet Oskin. Look at this. Oskin started all the way back here, and he finished in third. Goodness me. Zach Rogers finished second after starting in the back. That's crazy. So that is it for the lap 1 incident. Let's see what happened with McCoy and Colano. All right, so this is a long wreck. I'm not really sure what happened here. It looks like Colano was making a move on Onjak, and Young was just there. Colano is going to get turned, and now he's lucky he did not hit the guardrail that was right there. But you watch, he goes sliding off here into the trees. No one can see him right now. And he's going to come sliding back into view here. And he's going to come flying off the hill. He lands on all fours, but there's cars coming. And Wes McCoy just has nowhere to go. Sorry about the camera work there. Oskin, again, barely missing this wreck. And that took Colano and McCoy out of the race. So a tough break for both of them. You never want to get turned by your teammate. It's a tough break for Austin Colano. We're going to play this one out in real speed here. So it's on lap 15. Seth Cole gets punted by Andrew Rich through the final corner. And Seth Cole ends up behind the fence. And then right there, he gets in the fence. And that takes him out of the race. So that is a tough break for Seth Cole. He wasn't running well to begin with there. But that's it for the replays. Actually, no, there's something. We have to see what happened to Jeff Toledo. He had a big lead. And then suddenly he didn't. So we'll just fast forward here. And we'll see. Did his car really just slow down that much? Yeah, it looks like he just slowed down. Yeah, he just got caught by Sekuli and Fink naturally. His car just took a turn for the worse there. And then he came to pit. And actually, yeah, let's see what happened with Fink and Shelton. This is all very, very rough review, but, you know, it's okay. I haven't done this in a long time. Okay, here we go. Helicopter camera. Oh, Shelton just instinctively ran into his bumper coming down the hill and turned him. That is, oh man, that is going to cause some controversy going into Armory Digital. Fink comes away with a 4th place result, but he had the lead and it gave the win to Ryan Brommer. Well, that'll do it for me from Island Rally. I've got a lot of stuff to look at, not just, mostly for Digital Storm Cup Series, but I've got a lot of stuff to look at for both Jerky Pro Truck Series and the Digital Storm Cup Series, scenarios and the like. But Ryan Brommer, another winner on the season. As I'm trying to think here, we've had 5 multi-race winners. 4 of them have 2 wins. I think we're about at like 20 different winners now. Or is it 20 or 19? Something like that. Anyways, that's it for me today. And I'll see you guys next week at Armory Digital with Vince Freeze. He plans to be there. It's surely going to be a heck of a weekend.